Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Alan Wake. Let's go.
I had no real plan. I was going to give the kidnapper all the manuscript pages I had for Alice. If that wasn't enough, I'd hold him at gunpoint and make him talk.
So now we have a better shotgun upgrade. So that's an interesting move. And see, the game wants me to go this way. I mean, it was pointing this way before. Is this double pass? So I'm trying to run in the light. My thought here is by keeping the light on. Ah. Shotgun ammo, shotgun ammo, shotgun ammo. Clearly that's what they want.
I had no real plan. I was going to give the kidnapper all the manuscript pages I had for Alice. If that wasn't enough, I'd hold him at gunpoint and make him talk.
I have a bunch of flashbangs. Let's try one of these. I only have like 11 bullets on the shotgun anyways. And it seems like it very much is the case. There's a split path here, but the split path is not so bad. Like, a flashbang, it seems, is what you need to save the day.
The dark presence was moving ahead of me in the same direction I was going. A cold feeling settled itself in the pit of my stomach.
These look
Was
like
it going
graves.
for Alice?
Is the game now turning into a graveyard just magically?
The graveyard shift may cause cancer.
I don't even know what that means. And I'm out of bullets. One assumes, I'm just running away from it, one assumes all of this is just happening in the writer's head. I don't even know if his name is actually Alan Wake.
The place was dead, a ghost town. Had been for decades, maybe a century.
See, I could go that way and look for collectibles, but I just don't care anymore. Or kicking up things. Or does it say the darkness is kicking up things? Which, it was probably pretty important to destroy that, or that may have been a one-hit kill. Like, I don't know what the rest of the game is if there's no other episodes that revolve around collecting manuscripts, then the game kind of has to end. There's 3 major elements to this game right now, and that is collecting these thermoses, collecting the manuscripts, and then there's some minor elements, I would say, built around the idea of finding radio stations and TVs. But this also can't really be the end, because if it was the end, then we've missed half the TVs, which is a little unbelievable. And we've missed half the radio stations. But I suppose it wouldn't be insane if the DLC doubled the number of TVs and radio station things. This just isn't fun. This is why you don't see people with lasers that are actual lasers, laser guns. You see laser guns that shoot little bolts of light that do massive amounts of damage. You don't see somebody slowly aiming their laser at somebody and burning a hole through them. Which, to be accurate, that is pretty much how I understand a real military laser, which are slowly being integrated into the United States Army work. Is they're just infrared beams that have a lot of power behind them that you target and burn things with. And see, immediately I just need to use 3 batteries on this. This is the worst flashlight ever. Safe haven. That safe haven is locked. I guess there's no safe haven for me. Or maybe there is.
Anything outside of riding is a struggle. I feel ill. I managed to make my way downstairs. There's a shoebox filled with books and papers by Thomas Zane. It's very hard to focus, but I managed to read some of it. He's a poet, and a good one. He writes of muses and creators summoning fabulous things from a magic lake, using his powers to shape
see,
the world
he's
with
touching the
realm of
camera
gods
and
dreams
seeing
demons,
somebody's seeing
dark things
him.
that wait for a chance to slip through, wearing the flesh of men as disguise.
What he's saying and what he's
Zane writes
doing
about
is not
himself,
even
his
the
girlfriend
same.
being taken over by a dark presence, about growing scared of the lake. Zane believes it's a mirror to the gaping void of darkness above, where some Lovecraftian presence lurks. I crawl back upstairs. I'll borrow these things for my story. They ring true. They fit.
So he's just... These TVs, by the way, are huge. This is way bigger than a TV that of that design would be. So now the current gun has a pump action. The hunting rifle has, I think, does more damage. Or it lets you target further, maybe. I could really use some batteries. Most of these elements are not as scary as much as they're just the equivalent of being in a tornado or a hurricane. Trees are falling over and noises are happening, and I think part of the reveal might be that you are dreaming while there's a storm happening.
The kidnapper had sent me a text. The message was full of spelling errors and insults. It was telling me to hurry up.
So they didn't even bother to voice act that one. The guy must have been out of the recording booth that day. And that certainly has a lot less impact. A large portion of them left, and it seems like now I can't even hit the rest of them. Seems like they didn't want you to be able to kill them until you got closer. Well, they're getting closer. See, there's nothing you can do here, and right as that was happening, the birds died, and I think that's not a coincidence. I guess maybe the trick here is you don't focus the light on them, you just instead burn them until they're all gone, which lets you refill your light somewhat. But I'm at 0 batteries, you can have 20, and frankly it seems like I could just run. And didn't quite land in the place they wanted me to for that. And right now that would be a perfect time to give me a bunch of batteries. Now the flashlight makes a lot more sense in a cave. Like, it starts to make tons of sense. We haven't had any destructible environment up to this point, by the way, so that wasn't something I really needed to even test. Now we're gonna get creepy. What does this one say? Tunnels to Cauldron Lake. Are we going to Cauldron Lake or are we going somewhere else? I'm just gonna follow the I guess I'm supposed to be using flares. It kind of sucks you can't hold on to all 3 of the guns. It's a odd combination of different systems to force the player into switching guns, but you can have flares and flashbangs at the same time. Alright, it's a boss fight. Let's see. Out of batteries. And I think I should have kept the pump action shotgun, honestly. Picking up the coffee doesn't refill any health. In kind of like Resident Evil 4, but not really, because I don't think Resident Evil 4 would have ever allowed you to get this low
have to make my way up this mine shaft in order to go on.
Batteries or
Maybe the machinery
bullets.
could help me with that.
I think maybe in the 4 to 6 times I've played RE4, there might have been one scenario where I was playing it on a very high difficulty, and I managed to run out of bullets, and even when you restarted at a checkpoint, it made it just a little too difficult to survive based on that. But RE4 also had the knife element, which, you know, a flashlight with a knife on it, intriguing idea, something we haven't really seen much of. Yeah, we're just doing a puzzle. And it can go up that high. And I guess we're jumping around to move it higher. There we go, we're solving this puzzle. Each of these elements, like a puzzle like this, you would see in things like Tomb Raider. It would make sense, but you'd have to have a main element. The running, the gunning, the shooting. That's the part that is ruining everything here. Okay, so you're supposed to go back down now. I've already said that I would not be playing this game up to this point. I would have potentially thought about a refund. Satisfaction is not here. They definitely didn't really put their best foot forward, because this is a puzzle or an element that, if it had been in the first hour or so, particularly since he hit his head and he's losing time, they stopped doing that stuff too, which I guess is for the better. But they could have moved things around and made the game more of a non-linear experience. Flares. And a piece of the story. And I guess we're going down that way. I don't really know how to use flares. They keep enemies away, so I can shoot them with the light, I suppose, and by shooting them with the light, then it just seems to buy you time. Maybe what I'm doing wrong is I'm letting go of the right bump. Maybe if I just held on to the right bump, I would then...
Oh, great. Another cable car. Just great.
Let's reload that. Reload that. Reload that. Switch to this one. And I got 2 batteries now. And the physics on this feels awkward because this is pulling this forward and causing it to swing. Like, I guess if I just hold this like this, they can't hurt me. And so, yeah, just the right bump alone seems to work, except for the game crashed. And that's the last thing we need, is the game to be crashy. Seriously. I've said the word rage quit before, but if the game's gonna start crashing on me, I am not gonna be happy.
Oh, great. Another cable car. Just great.
Maybe I'm supposed to use a flare gun. So we'll try this. Can I just hold one of those, please? And not have to use all 3 of the flare guns where I'm supposed to? Will you let me do that game? This is taking forever. The trees are falling over. And we're stuck in a cutscene. I have no idea why specifically. Like, why specifically it crashed at that point. Unless it actually was due to the fact of holding flares. But if the game is going to do more and more of this, then... because the idea of holding flares was a good one. I like that idea. And if the game says, no, you can't do that because... we won't allow it, or we'll just crash the game. There's another one of these triangle things we can do. And you might as well pick up the bullets, even if it's just gonna give you 1 bullet. It's not like you come back to an area. It's not like there's gonna be a second gameplay where everything you didn't collect in the first one. Pick up the hunting rifle. Like, what happened to the rifle I had before? Why do things just disappear and reappear? It's as if the bad story that is happening here is also including elements where you just lose your items. But this is just the same all over again. I went to the checkpoint and released a flare. Oh, so I suppose those are the signs that you're supposed to be looking for. And so it's possible there haven't been that many I've missed. We've been on this bridge though. We've done this. We've been on a bridge that at least looks very similar to this. Honestly, were you just gonna give me, if they just had given me like 5 like, this feels very much just stolen from a Resident Evil 4 Section 2, or maybe from the Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Guess we're going this way. That's where the indicator is pointing. Let's not just immediately jump off into a cavern though. That probably wouldn't work out too well for us. He's just always out of breath. And for a game where you're running almost constantly because there's so little content, we don't need it to be that prevalent or exist at all. This way. These tiny little animations when he kicks a door or pushes something over. These are things that people would not prioritize, better video game companies would not prioritize animating and having those in the game over smooth running and gunning. And the fact that it exists shows that the people in charge, this is interesting, just a boarded up building, of making sure each team has goals, misprioritize things. And so that's a project lead, that's a developer, project lead, project manager type failure. Wait. Because the kick animation, in all fairness, looks fine. Tom. I curse you to the Thomas zone. Tom. You talk to me on TV. CW and I miss you, Tom. CW and TZ. So we're kind of figuring out who the crazy person is who's been writing all of this, I think. So is this supposed to be the house? But it can't be the house, can it? Because the house that the author that's not Alan Wake, the first author, who I believe is called Tom, would have had to been on the lake too, unless that's just going to be proven here to not be the case. By the way, I suppose it's worth pointing out, hunting rifle ammo, to my understanding, and shotgun ammo are completely different types of bullets. So unless there is this internal inventory where I am holding on to shotgun shells when I don't have a shotgun and hunting rifle ammo when I don't have a hunting rifle, which maybe that is the case, it seems like they're just saying there's 2 pickups, but really it just all combines into a pool of 1 style of bullets. Right on the edge. Right on the edge of dying. Yeah, I'll just put down a flare to pick up a flare. And I was totally on the edge of dying, and now I'm at 50% health. So clearly it resets. It resets very... I have to wonder if maybe I could have avoided that whole fight if I just walked around the edge. But that would be like a second playthrough speedrun strategy when there's still just not enough game here to make me want to play it all the way through the first time. This is the first game I played in a really long time.
Lake. I thought I could make out the spot where the island and the cabin had been. There was a light near it. It had to be a boat.
Like, it's been a really long time since I played a game where I've had to struggle to even want to finish it.
I was close now. I had to get there fast. I dreaded what I would find.
I wonder if some manuscript pages only unlock...
Hey, I'm here! I'm coming!
after you do certain fights.
Get away! Sorry. Please, wait. The boss didn't know who he was messing with. I didn't know. I swear, I didn't know. We don't have his wife. We don't know where she is. She's probably drowned. We just said we had her to make a play ball. You see? They got him writing for us. Please. Please. Oh. I'm sorry. Please don't hurt me.
And now we go into a cutscene. Then how did Alice call? So was the darkness after him? Was the darkness after the kidnapper this whole time? Nah, that doesn't make a ton of sense either. Seems like people are very, very desperately trying to get him to continue writing. And see, that could have been the end of the game in itself. Instead of end of episode 3. Again, let's just skip the audio.
Previously on Alan Wake, I'm haunted by the law.
We have no idea why.
Are you seriously telling me that Rydo just took out my deputies?
A thriller I supposedly wrote is coming true. The genre of the story seems to be shifting. It's turning into a horror story. I was told that Alice had been
What was it before?
But that was a lie.
We don't have his wife. We don't know where she is.
Her purported
Was it
kidnapper
a
was eaten up by the dark presence
psychological
that attacked me.
thriller before? Episode 4, the truth. So maybe there's only 4 episodes.
Shh, baby. It was just a nightmare.
Alice. There you go, Alan. Hartman, I fell.
I had to give you a sedative. Don't fight it. You went through another rough period.
What?
Right now, it's very important that you stay calm. We don't want you to have another episode.
Why would he have a
Patient in
demonic
my
voice
clinic
right now?
Have been for a while now. The shock of your wife's death triggered a mental illness.
No, you're lying.
You're suffering from various symptoms of undifferentiated schizophrenia.
Makes sense.
It's okay, Alan. Just let go.
Now, when treating a patient, I don't think you just bring up that your wife was dead when they're sedated and having mental problems. I think you'd approach that subject a lot more cautiously.
I felt groggy. Whatever Hartman had bumped in me was making me numb. I felt like this was happening to someone else. Someone I was watching on television. I couldn't think. Couldn't focus.
I don't think having mental patients in a log cabin is a smart idea. Just a lot of splinters to hurt yourself on, intentionally or unintentionally. A lot of wood to bang your head on. Now, no weapons. We're back to where we started at the very beginning.
Good evening, Alan.
Why would they let him
Better now?
type?
Feeling calm?
That
Yeah.
would be
I
bad.
see you brought your pet gorilla with you. So sure, I'm calm. I get the message. Loud and clear.
Quite right. That's the spirit. You're being very brave, Alan.
So he's trying to make
I
him right
understand
too.
you're confused. I would be more
I don't like
concerned
this
if you
fisheye
weren't suspicious
lens
of me.
effect.
I don't blame you for it.
Big of you.
Now,
This is just
why don't
kind
you
of
come with me?
misery.
We'll reacquaint you with my clinic and go over everything you might have forgotten. Little walk and some fresh air? Yes, it will do you good.
So drugs are wearing off and the fisheye effect's wearing off. Now,
This corridor is for patients.
Creator's
Most of them are
Dilemma.
here right now. Jack took them out for a fishing trip, except for the ones who are particularly vulnerable, of course. I encourage creativity as a part of the recovery
Just
process
so
here at Cauldron Lake Lodge.
lame.
I specialize in treating artists.
I bet you do.
Splendid, Alan. I honestly believe we can get this thing under control if we work together. This way, Alan.
And this is just another one of these cutscene sections. I bet these are names of other people that worked on the game. How many floors are
Now,
there?
Alan, from past experience with you, I know I need to get right into the heart of the matter as
3
quickly as I
floors
can
and a
after an
basement.
episode. So I'm just going to say this. Alice is dead.
No.
You're in a very vulnerable state until you understand and accept this. Alice drowned, and you couldn't face that. You're suffering from hallucinations, paranoid delusions, unusual thinking, an obsession about light and darkness, a feeling that everything revolves around you, your thoughts and dreams. Your mind has constructed an elaborate fantasy scenario in which your writings are affecting reality. She has been kidnapped and supernatural forces of darkness are trying to stop you. We go this way, Alan.
I wasn't ready for another shot, so I went along with it. He had to be lying. But under the influence of the drug he had given me, I had to fight not to believe his words.
It's all in your head. You've been making it up. Apart from the tragic accident with your wife, no one has been killed. Your delusions are just a manifestation of your subconscious mind trying to protect you from the too painful truth. Unless we fight the fantasy,
This
it
makes
will
a lot more
return.
sense than
I
anything
know the
else.
instinct is to resist me, but think about
But
it.
you knew,
Doesn't
you
this
kind of
make
knew
far
this
more
was going to
sense than
happen.
the insane supernatural conspiracy you have concocted in your
And
mind?
you kind of know that they're going to
Skeptical by
throw this
nature,
theory out
we
here
know
and then they're going to
everything can be
counter it.
explained logically.
There's a collectible. Like, they're going to counter it here in a second. The FBI guy is going to appear and try to shoot you some more, or the darkness is just going to appear. This might be a cool effect where the sundial goes down. Let's see. Beyond the shadow you settle for, there's a miracle. Illuminated TZ in memory of a dear friend and poet. And that's the first author. We can see what time it is, I suppose. It's 11, I would assume, in the afternoon, in the morning. Although, I don't think that would quite work as a timepiece, also. It would only work probably between the hours of 6 and 9? Wait a minute, this is all out of order. 9, 10, 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6. And then between 6 in the evening all the way back till 9 in the morning. It doesn't work.
Isn't it? Cauldron Lake spread below us. I could see Mirror Peak on the other side of the lake. I thought I could make out the spot where Diver's Isle had been when I arrived with Alice. Now there was nothing but waves.
It seems there's a storm coming. Funny, I don't recall there being a mention of that in the weather forecast. Well, no matter. This way. Follow me.
Another little lag.
Alan, what I'm telling you is good news. Right now we're in control. Every time you have a relapse, it gets more and more difficult to resurface from the dark depths of your imagination. Not surprising, considering your profession. Imagination is what you work with. After all your nightmares, this should come as an immense relief to you. If it doesn't, why is that? Because I'm lying? Or because you don't want to admit that you're not well? It's very natural for you to think of me as your enemy. It's part of the illness.
I let him talk. Hartman obviously loved his own voice. His words echoed madly inside my head. I dug my nails into the palms of my hands to stay focused.
You need to work with me. Once you accept that, we can begin the journey toward...
Why is he dressed in the same outfit? Here's a good question.
Here's the entrance to the office wing. That's for staff only.
And see, we may find out that the patients...
Hartman had mentioned that the power had been acting up. Maybe that was the reason for the generator and the work light on the balcony. The generator hadn't been activated, and there was no key.
Big Bear.
Mister, you should be afraid of me. You don't want to run into me in the night, that's for sure.
Please, Emerson. Mr. Wake is confused enough as it is.
Yeah, you'd like me to go away so you won't be scared. But you can't just decide what kind of dream you have or when you have it.
Emerson.
Okay. Sorry.
And see, it wouldn't be surprising if these characters are the same characters that we've been dealing with. If that was Rose, that was in the nurse outfit here, that'd be cool. But it isn't.
Please, this way.
It might be the lady in
Come, Alan. This
darkness.
way. Now, you might have noticed the typewriter in your room. You've been writing as a part of the therapy. As soon as you feel up to it, you should continue.
Yeah, he wants all these artists to make more things so he can sell them.
Oh, hello. I've painted you.
Okay.
I was just struck by inspiration a couple of days ago. Dr. Hartman wanted me to paint landscapes, and that's what I was doing. But now I've been doing these things, a lot of them. The images just keep coming. Dr. Hartman likes them.
Does that
He
look
has
like
them
me?
in his office.
Yeah?
He's very proud of me. He says I'm getting much better. I think I'm getting better.
That doesn't sound like getting better than me. And this guy is just kind of appearing. He's not walking. The bodyguard. Another sign. We'll pretend like we're reading. There's a TV. We kind of know what's going on here.
My rheumatism's killing me. There's a storm coming.
And here's the two people from the...
I hope it wipes this place off the face of the earth.
And
They're playing
these
Night Springs.
two are the Anderson brothers,
The board game.
Odin and Tor. They had a, how should I put this? A heavy metal band in the 70s and 80s called Old Gods of Asgard. They even adopted new first names to complete the image of Viking gods. After the band broke up, they lived on a farm nearby. They are, well, in advanced stages of dementia. They're well cared for, TLC and all that. There's nothing more that can be done. I'm afraid that the rock and roll lifestyle has left its mark.
And so we, in the police station, saw
I'm so sorry to cut this short for now.
him, the doctor, talking about these two.
We'll continue this.
So they're kind of important characters, but I bet they really aren't.
Return to your room and try to write. It really is for the best. Don't you think?
I'd like to bash his head in with a hammer.
Oh, he'd love to fish out our secrets, but he has no clue. He's not crazy enough. Not crazy like
Odin
us, Sonny.
was missing an eye. Thor had a hammer.
Crazy's a requirement, Sonny. Who else could understand the world when it's like this? It takes crazy to know crazy.
That's the sanest thing I've heard in a while.
Say, you're all right, Tom. Hey, we like him, don't we, bro? He's got to go to the farm.
The Anderson farm. Valhalla!
We wrote it all down.
And they called him Tom.
A crash course. All you need to
Not
know
Alan
to get your
Wake.
head right. You need to find the message.
Here, Sonny, here's something for you. Gave me a rash, but I kept it safe from these bastards.
My head was clearing up, or according to Hartman, I was sinking back into the fantasy. I was convinced he was lying to me about everything. Crazy or not, the Andersons made more sense.
Is there that collectible down that way? So, we're in episode 4. Maybe 3 or 4 fewer pieces of the manuscript, and unless we're going to be able to scroll, it seems like there's only 5 episodes in this, which I kind of hope is the case. We're still kind of at 50% if you look at the number of manuscripts and coffee thermoses found, but also I may have missed so many now. That's not a good indicator. There really isn't any good indicator though. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.